Welcome back to Heather's Crafty Classroom. I have a project share and hopefully a tutorial. We'll see how this goes. I think I'm ready. I'm ready. But anyway, this is what I made. This little gem measures, let's see, 6.5 by 5 and has a 2-inch spine. So, my idea. I fell in love with some paper, and you're never going to believe where this paper came from. So this paper came from Creative Memories, and this is the paper line. It's called Sweet on You. I love Creative Memories paper, but I think it's pretty pricey. Let's be honest. But I actually fell in love with this paper. So this looks really orange on screen, but it's really a vibrant red. And on the back side is pink with red dots. Then there's this pattern with a chocolate stripe. And then over here we have another brown with a really light pattern. It turned out so cute. Anyway, what Creative Memories came out with to go with this is a card kit. And I said, I bet you I can make a book with this. So in the little card kit, mind you, the card kit's only $5.50 and you get everything you need to make 3 cards minus the adhesive. That's the only thing you have to buy. Use your own or whatever. We all have adhesive. So this is the card kit. Like I said, it's $5.50 to make 3 cards. And it gives you the layouts on how to make them. There's 3 different ones. So you get all the pieces and they're all labeled. So you know all the ones go together, all the twos go together. They give you the blank cards and the envelopes, and they even give you a few bonus pieces. So if you want to change it up, you can. So I gave myself a challenge to make a book, and that's what I did. So these are the cards. Let's see if I can find the other one. Here's the other one. So you can see all 3 of them. All 3 cards. So I decided to make a little book. So this is all the paper from Creative Memories minus the tan cardstock. It's not even craft. It's a tan that I had in my stash. And I had this red, which is very similar to the Creative Memories, but not exact. So tonight, we're going to try to make one using all Creative Memories cardstock and the paper. So I used half of the pack of the paper. So this pack had 6 sheets of double-sided. So I used 3 on the first book. So I have 3 left to make a second book. But I decided to buy some of the Creative Memories cardstock. Now, I have never made a mini album with their cardstock. Never ever. I've always just used my own. And once in a while, if I have a piece or if I need a certain color, I'll buy from my friend 1 piece or 2 pieces. So I bought a whole 10-pack. A 10-pack of cardstock is $10. So that's probably why I don't do this. But I thought I'd give it a try today. The one thing I did want to say is that when I go scrapbooking at retreats or weekends, I do a lot of Saturdays. Almost everybody there does Creative Memories, sells it or uses it. One person sells, everybody else uses. And all of their cardstock comes packaged in this plastic with a piece of chipboard in the back. Every single pack of paper that you buy of cardstock. So this is how I get all my cardstock or my chipboard. All of my chipboard comes from my weekend things. The ladies now save it for me. I get more than I could ever use, but I don't have to buy chipboard anymore because they all give it to me, which is amazing. So I just wanted to share that. So anyway, let's look at the book. So this is the book. It has the chocolate stripes. It has this is the XOXO is from the extra bonus pieces that they give you. And so it is You Have My Heart. That was the bonus piece. On this side, it says You and Me. And this is the back. I also did purchase to make this. I did buy the sticker set, Sweet Onion Designer Stickers. It has 3 sheets, and you can see the ones I've used. Or no, this one only has 1 sheet. I'm so sorry. This one only has 1 sheet. So I did use a few, but I still have quite a bit. So the other thing I used on this book is that I only had 1, but it was this very large decorative frame, and it was 3-dimensional. It was layered, and it was quite big. It doesn't tell me how big it is. It says it's extra large, but it was big. It was, maybe 6 or 8 inches tall. So I knew I was making the mini book, so I decided to cut this up. So you'll see bits and pieces of this throughout the mini album that I just cut up. Now I don't have another one of these, so I'm only using the sticker sheet and paper on the second book. So we'll see how this goes. So anyway, let's see. Let's open up the book. I do have this layered up on some foam tape, and I have the heart lifted on foam tape. And there's the back. I already showed you. So it opens up. Things are flying. It opens up like this. So over here, this is just a side pocket, and this was part of that frame, and so is this. Like I said, I tore it all apart and used pieces. And then I have 2 photo mats, a solid red, and then the red XOXO. I think that is so cute. And it has the chocolate in the background behind it. So here is the first card. Now this is what the card was supposed to look like. But my cards are going landscape instead of portrait. Horizontal versus vertical. So I decided I would have to change things up a little bit, but I think it's the same idea. So that's the original. That's what I did. I think it looks really cute. It's really washed out on my video, but it is pink background. And then this opens up and it actually comes out. The white back here is the envelope. And then I matted it with cardstock and decorative paper. Now I did the cardstock too because Creative Memories paper is quite thin. It is for scrapbooking. It's to make a 12 by 12 page. It's not meant for this. It's not cardstock. It's super thin. It's probably as thin as printer paper, somewhere around there. So I have, each page is just 1 card. So I have the envelope as the main page, and the card is the insert that comes all the way out. And I didn't decorate this at all on the inside because I figured it's for photos. If you wanted to add a little sticker or something, you could. But I figured, I'm going to leave it plain. That way you can just have your full-size pictures, because I did have to cut these down. So the cards are a little smaller now. They are 5 3/8 by 4 1/4. So I had to cut it down a little. Underneath, I did add a border here on the cute paper. This side is this white pattern you could barely see. It's got a really faint white grid with hearts in the corners. And then this was part of the frame, this whole piece. It looks like it's layered up all kinds of things, but it's just one piece, and it's got foam under there. So this card was this one. Very similar, just a little different. I did pop up these 2 strawberries on foam to give it some dimension, and the love you very much. And I think it turned out so cute. And this was the original card. And then you open this one up and it comes out just the same, and it's got your paper for your photo. Fold it over. It's got the pink with little red hearts, Be My Valentine, which I left open so you can put something in there, put your photo under there. This one is the last card. This is it right here. So I think it turned out really cute. You could tell I just rotated it. This is up on 3 to foam tape as well. It's got this paper. This comes out just like the others. Folds over. This one has the cute another little piece of that frame that I chopped up. And then back here is another piece of the frame. I put some paper to lighten it up, and then this is a sticker. And then it's got 2 photo mats in here too. So let's see if we can recreate this. All right. Pretty similar. That's the plan. No, maybe not exact, but I think it's going to be really, really close to what we have. So our first step is to get 1 piece of cardstock, 12 by 12, and we're going to cut it in half. Magically, it's already cut. So, let me put my score tape out. Here we go. We're going to make this into 1 long piece. So, we are going to put a line of score tape. I just do 1. Some people do 2 or 3. And then peel that off, and I'm going to add a little glue with it, just to give it a little extra. Most of my adhering will be wet glue. That's just what I prefer. It's just faster. Let's be serious. That's straight. It's pretty straight. Okay. Then we are going to have our chipboard. Our chipboard pieces are 6.5, I want to say. Let's turn it regular. 6.5 by 5. And this one is 2 by 5. So this is the only other part that I definitely always use chipboard. Use score tape. So I've already put it on my back. And normally I like to have 1 inch here in here. This, I only have about 1/2 inch. But I didn't want to use up the expensive Creative Memories cardstock. So I'm gonna make it work. I tried it with the first one and it worked. So I thought, okay. So where the seam is where I'm going to put my first piece. Now I'm going to try, I might even use my ruler to measure about 1/2 inch at the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to put this right there. Just so we get the idea of where to start. And then this is how I do my chipboard on the back of these. My score tape. I keep saying chipboard. It's my score tape. And let's not be lazy. Throw your trash away. Don't make a big mess because then you regret it. Believe you me. I keep this little box right here. I made this. And that's my trash box for paper. And every so often I just dump it in my trash. That way I don't have to reach over for my trash all the time. So I'm going to leave a space in between right there. It's maybe 1/8 of an inch. And then let's do the other one. And I was thinking about trying to use my Creative Memories trimmer with the scoring blade. I've never used it to make an album. Should we try it? Look should we try it? We might as well try it. It's a great trimmer. And this is what it looks like. And it's a great piece of equipment. Totally love it. So I'm going to cut these parts off. I only want about 1 inch. So I'm just going to swing and cut that off. The good thing about this paper trimmer is it's got this mat under here, the cutting right here. And it has 4 different sections, so you get a lot of use out of it before that wears out. I just think that is great. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Now I'm going to use this old doohickey I have, perfecttrimruler.com, copyright 2012. A long time ago. I've had it for a long time. I've been making these albums for a long time. But you just want to make sure you have a space right here that is about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, probably 1/8 of an inch. I think that's what that says. I'm just drawing a line. I'm just going to snip them off. I'm not exact, but I do like them to be the same. That's my thing. So I'm going to just cut these all off. And then we're going to put some score tape and glue this thing together. So reminder our corners, all about the same. So now I'm going to put some score tape. I already have a mess on my desk. I was so clean and organized before I started. So I'm just going to put score tape down the edge of this. Normally, if I had an inch here, I would put it here and I would put it here. But because I only have a little space, I'm just doing the 1. And I'm going to use a little wet glue too, but I think it'll be okay. I think that's what I did on the other one too, on the OG. So hopefully this video is not going to be too crazy long. Try to kept a lot of it already. So what I'm going to do is to get this card or this cardstock bent to work a little bit, I'm going to push it against my table and bend it up. And then I'm going to do this side. Push it against my table and bend. You want those paper fibers to break a little bit so they bend easy and they don't crack. Nothing worse than having cracked paper. And like I said, I've never used Creative Memories paper before to do this. So we shall see how this works. It could be great. It could be not great. I was telling my friends that they don't get it. Like it depends on what paper you use. I am a fan of just Hobby Lobby and or Michaels. I think they're great papers for mini albums. The paper doesn't crack. I was watching a video the other day of, I always watch other people to get ideas. But I caught myself critiquing this poor girl because her paper was so cracked. And I was like, oh, girl, what kind of paper are you using? I don't know. I felt so bad, though, because she's making this awesome video of this great book, but her cardstock was totally cracked. I was like, oh, no, poor thing. It's very frustrating because I've had it happen. And I've learned which papers I like and which ones I don't. So I just do a bead in the crack, and then I try to do just a little bit on the tape. I don't know why. Gives it a little extra oomph. I have no idea why I do it. It's just what I do. I bend that down, get it to stick, and push it down here. And then I use my bone folder. Now this bone folder is an oldie but a goodie. I need to invest in a new one. Look at the tip of that. Do you see that? It's all bent and divoted and stuff. I just need a new one. I've had this one probably 10 years. All right, so now we got to do the edges. So the edges, I think I've showed this before. There's a little extra piece. I'm going to use my bone folder and just push that in and down so it doesn't cause too much bulk. So push that down, peel off the tape, add some score tape. Add some wet glue. So these I'm going to add glue here too because it is exposed on the edges. There's no adhesive. And then I use my bone folder work it and press it down. I did a little too much glue, but that's okay. That's what baby wipes are for. My girlfriend at the last weekend I went to was like, why do you have baby wipes? Oops, sorry. Because I use wet glue. Okay, that'll dry. Well, at least I wiped off the glue. So look at those corners. Look great. Now we're going to fold these ones in on this side. All right, put it in. Peel this off and add some wet glue. Now you guys know I love me some art glitter glue. I want to try the Fairly Arts. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. I'm also going to be teaching the class, and I got to provide the wet glue, so I got to figure out that yet. I think I'm going to get a big bottle and buy the little empty bottles and do that. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to fold these right here. I pushed them down really good when I folded that over. So now I have my base. This looks really nice. This paper did not crack at all. It folded quite well. So that's a good sign. I don't know how much of these books I can do with this paper because, like I said, it is very pricey. 10 feet for $10. All right. So next, let me tap up my glue. And we're going to attempt to use this for our spine. Okay? Let's see if it works. Let me show you how this works. I wish I could zoom out, but I can't. So this opens up, and this is the blade, right? You put this over, and you have all the blades right here. They have scoring, perforated, decal, scallop, wave, and Victorian. So we're going to take the scoring one out and see how this works. Like I said, I've never used this to make an album. I've used it to like fold a card in half and stuff. So our piece of cardstock for our spine, 4 3/8 by 9.5. Now I'm gonna erase that because I don't want to have to deal with it. If I can find my eraser. I just had my pencil. Where'd you guys put it? Man, oh man. How did I leave it so far? Hold on. Hold on. Well, I guess we'll figure that out when we need it. I just had it. Anybody else ever lose their mind? You just had something in your hand. Where did it go? Well, here's another one. I just want to erase these so they're not in my way. Just in case. Now I'll find the pen. So 9.5 by 4 3/8. These are all the score marks. There is a lot. The way I do this, there is a lot. So I'm going to put it at 2. Let's move this down so you guys can see. So I'm going to do 2 and push down and score. I'm going to go to 2 1/4 and score. I'm going to go to 2 3/4 and score. 3 1/4. 3.5. 4. 4 1/4. 4 3/4. 5 1/4. 5.5. which this one is good. It's like right, you can see it underneath there, barely, but you can see it. 5.5, and we're gonna go to 6, 6.5. What's next? 6 3/4. 7 1/4, and 7.5. Phew, that's a lot of scoring. All right, so let's see how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna fold this first one and burn it. And I actually did pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. It makes this really easy. So I'm just gonna keep folding them back all the way down. I am super impressed with the scoring blade on there. Now when I go to crops, I don't have to necessarily take my scoring board and a paper trimmer. So that's pretty sweet. It's a lot of scoring, but there's a reason. I promise. I do use score tape on my page. But then after this, the only thing I use score tape on is to adhere a pocket. Usually I don't do much else. So those are all the score marks. So first one, we're in the 1/2 inch space. We are going to add. So you can see, if you don't realize, let's see, can we see it on here? Here. So there's, oh, I messed up. Uh-oh. I messed it up. It's supposed to be little, big, big, little space. Little, big, big, little space. And these ones I messed up. But I'm going to fix it. So don't go by this. So sorry. Let's see. I need to put one. And I knew I was going to mess it up. That's 7. Okay, let's start back. So this one is at 6. Big, big, little space. So 6. So it should be 6 1/4. And then, so 6 1/4 is little. And then 6 3/4. The rest is fine. All right, it's gonna be fun. I promise. So whenever there's a 2 big spaces together, we're gonna put score tape on one of them. So we have little, big, big, little. We're gonna glue these together so you have big and a little on each side. So I'm going to add glue. So I'm going to put some glue on here and down the little side as well. And just adhere them together. And this is the one I messed up, and it's going to be just fine. I knew I was messing up when I was writing all those out, but I couldn't figure it out in my brain. But it's okay. Human. And now I have it better. So I'm going to glue those two together. So it should be a mirror image of a little and a big, a little and a big. So right here we'll have a space, and then we have little, big, big, little. We're going to glue the big littles together. Now, the only reason I'm not putting glue all the way across is because the wet glue makes things very, very rigid. So you have to be very careful of what is being glued when you use wet glue. It makes it very stiff. So now you have these three little hinges, little fins sticking up, as you will. Okay. I'm just burnishing really good, making sure they're all stuck together. Then I'm going to miter each corner just on the top parts, the big spaces on each side. Just a little bit, and just makes life a little easier. Okay, so now we need to glue this into our, I tend to use score tape for this because, like I said, the wet glue makes things very rigid. So you don't want to use wet glue where things are going to bend. Does that make sense? Only want to use a tape adhesive. You can, and I know some people do. I don't like it. I think it makes it harder to use. So I do like this. So I do all across the underside where all the little hinges are, and one on either side and down here, and then in the middle I'll put like 2 extra. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's overkill. What? This is holding your pages in your book. So I think it's a good idea to add a little extra. I'm gonna push those down, make sure they're all stuck, and we're gonna get our book, and we're gonna adhere it in the middle. Now this to me is the trickiest part. Looks like I did pretty good. So you want to make sure your fins are in the middle, right here, top to bottom, and the whole shebang. Normally what I do is I do like an X that's off a little bit, so I know exactly where to put it. That's me. Makes my life a lot easier. Why figure it out twice? And once when you have adhesive, like, I don't want to do anything once I put this adhesive on because it's a pain. Because this score tape, once it's down, it's not coming up. It's pretty much down. All right. Almost got our book constructed. So now I know where my X goes, and it's right about there. I push down, push down, push down. And then before I bend it, I'm going to run my bone folder through here in that groove. But they get in that groove before I start trying to bend it. All right, there we go. All right, got a couple more steps in this video. I think I'll make it a 2-parter so we're not super long because we're already at like 30 something minutes. Don't want to bore you guys. So now we're going to get our 3 envelopes, and I'm going to glue them all shut. All shut. All the way down. Okay. 1, 2. And the good thing about this glue, you still have a little wiggle room, but it adheres really fast. Okay. And what do I do with my pen? Story of my life. Everybody else lose their pen. you don't close this back up, it's going to seal and you're never going to get it open. All right, so now we have these three. What we're going to do is we're going to cut off a smidge on the top and a smidge down the side. So it's going to be open. You'll see. Don't freak. So I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer. Can't even see me. And down here, I'm going to just do a smidge. Less than 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Oh, I got to change my blade. Hold on. That's on my scoring blade. It's not going to do anything. Let's put the straight blade back in. Now I can cut. Goodness gracious, Heather. So I'm going to cut off the top. You see that? That's how much I cut off. It's like nothing. And I'm going to do the same on the side. All right. So now I have one envelope that is open on two sides. Do that to the other two and get these in the book. And then we'll come back and do the rest. Okie dokie. I don't want to make one video super long. I'd rather make two-parter. What do you guys want? 2 parts or one super long? Because I watch videos that are super long. I don't know if everybody does. I'll sit and watch an hour-long video, no biggie, but I know a lot of people don't. Okay. I'll cut that backwards, but that's okay. What about this one? Right side. Okay. So now, with this open side, we're going to put this open on top, and we're going to put it in here up to the score line. And I'm just going to use wet glue and make sure they're straight. And that's all I'm going to do. All right. Let's see. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down this side. And then I'm going to flip it over, not all the way, but gently, and put a little more wet glue. And then I'm going to open this up and put it down. Okay. And put it on. Now this one of them I did backwards, so we're just going to stick it in there. No one's going to know. You can't see anything. So I'm going to put some glue on this side and fold it over gently and put it on this side and put it on. Now when I do the second one and the third one, I put it on and I lay it down so I can get it to match the other page as well. You want these to line up here, right? At the bottom. And you have one. Okay. And there we go. So now we have our pages. 1, 2, 3. So when we come back for part 2, we will make the cards and we'll decorate. Alrighty? Thanks, guys. See you next time for part 2 of my XOXO album. We're making 2. Talk to you soon.